Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave, and it's another edition of Simple to Stunning, Stepping Up Your Handmade Cards. So I've got a really beautiful, simple card design, and then we're going to step it up in a couple of ways today. I am featuring the Floral Frames bundle. So there is a stamp set and coordinating set of framelits, which is pretty awesome. There's lots of really beautiful pieces that go with this stamp set, and I love how beautiful they are in working with this. Now I'm going to start with a basic card base, which is a half a sheet of Whisper White. This is thick cardstock. And then I've got a layer of regular Whisper White that I'm just going to add to the top of this. I think, you can certainly just use your basic card, but I do like that this adds kind of a little extra layer of sophistication, even to our very simple card, which is very simple. Now I've stamped and die cut with this little die our label design in basic gray ink. And I did that ahead of time so I didn't have to stop the cameras to show you how to do that. And I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green blends. This is just a really easy way to add just a little bit of color. So I'm going to start with the darkest, or the dark Granny Apple Green, and just kind of color just a little bit of each leaf. And then we'll blend that out with the lighter color. So very basic coloring, nothing fancy or complicated on this one. Very simple. And then all I'm going to do is embellish this with some pearls, which I think is just the perfect touch. Now this is a perfect card for a wedding. The stamp set does come with 3 different sentiments: sending love, hello, and wishing you all the best. So, or wishing you the best, sorry. So you can use whichever one you want, or you could substitute something else. So I'm going to use wishing you all the best because it's just so pretty. There we go. Now I'm going to add some pearls to this, like I mentioned. So I'm going to grab my pick your tool. I'll just scooch up a little bit of that putty in here, and then I like to loosen it so that it doesn't come oozing out, like too much, like more than you want. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick these up and kind of place them on the little base of each leaf, and I think that just adds a nice little touch. Now I'm leaving these other little whatever these are just plain white because I think that's pretty, and it'll look just fine. There we go. Okay, now all I'm going to do with this is pop it up on my card, and there you have the first version of this card. So real simple. Next, we're going to add a little bit of pizzazz to this. We're going to stick with the same basic design, but take it up a notch. So let me get these off. And then here is our first card. Very, like I said, very simple, but a really nice, clean, pretty card to start with. Okay, next up, I'm going to change my card base and use some basic gray cardstock. Same layers, a half a sheet of basic gray with a 4x5 1/4 inch basic gray panel, just like our very first card. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere those 2 layers. And then I have embossed with the Layered Leaves embossing folder. And you know what? That is super crooked. So we're going to put it on straight because that's how we roll here at the Creativity Cave. I hate when this goes on crooked. Okay. So there we go. Now I'm going to use, like I said, our Layered Leaves embossing folder. So I just have a 1.5 by 5 1/4 inch strip that I have embossed, and I'll go ahead and adhere that to my card with some liquid glue like so, and we'll put this one on straight too. Okay, so there is my card base. Now once again I've got my leaves, and I will color those up just quickly. I love using blends to color because they are so vibrant and beautiful, and the blending is so amazing on them. And it's just really easy to do, so that's the best. Now, don't forget, there's just 1 week of celebration left. So until March 31st, 2019, there are so many amazing benefits to celebration. Whether you want to purchase some items, host a party, or join our Stampin' Up! Company, we have amazing perks during celebration. So don't miss out on those. I've got more information on my blog, and the link is in the description of this video, so make sure you check that out. Okay, so, actually I'm not putting the pearls on yet. Haha, kidding. All right, now for this one, I wanted to jazz it up a little bit. So I'm going to continue with my same sentiment because I like that. But I wanted this to be a little bit, have a little bit more going on with this. So I'll still pop it up on my card, but I'm also going to add a couple of little punched images to kind of decorate this just a tad bit more. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. So everything's the same so far, except I changed the color of the background of my cardstock and I added my embossed strip. Now what I want to do is, like I said, add a couple of punched images. So I'm going to take my Bitty Blooms punch pack, and I'm going to punch a couple of white flowers. So I've got 3 white flowers, and then I'm also going to take and punch a couple of little circles for the center of my flowers. So this is in Bermuda Bay. Okay, so I've got my 3 and my 3. We'll take some glue dots and stick those together, and oh my gosh, I can't even pick them up, so there we go. This tool thing is like the best. If you don't have one of these, you so need one. Oh my gosh, I use it like almost on every card. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is place these in the center of our punched flower. And then look at that cutie patootie punched flower. So cute. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I like to add dimension to things. So I'm just going to kind of smoosh up these petals so that they are kind of curved up and my flower is not flat. It's got a little dimension to it. Okay. Then I'm also going to put glue dots on the back of these and attach them to my card. So once again, these add just a pretty little touch to my card and make it just a teensy bit fancier. So we'll add 3 of them like so. And then we'll add some pearls to the center. And I've got this little one. I picked it up. This was the one I moved around, so now it's being just difficult. All right. There we go. So we'll add these 3, goodness gracious, they're not cooperating, pearls. The adhesive is, it keeps falling upside down. And I don't want it to. There we go, my goodness. Okay, so there is our second card. Isn't that awesome? Oh, I love it. Okay, now the third card is, of course, the best. So, okay, guys, so we just made this card, and we've got the exact same card here, basically. So I've started with the same base, the half sheet of basic gray with the 4 by 5 1/4 and the 5 1/4 by 1 1/2 embossed piece, all layered together. I've stamped, die cut, punched, and colored this piece, just like I did on the last card, exactly the same. In fact, I just have one more pearl to place on there, so let me grab that and put it down. Okay, now what I'm going to do a little bit differently about this piece is I want to embellish this just a bit more. So I've gone to the set of framelits, whoops, and I've die cut a bunch of pieces. So I've got some of these pieces in both Granny Apple Green and Vellum. I die cut probably more than I need. I've got 4 of each. So what I want to do is position these leaves underneath my frame. So I'm just kind of setting them where I like them. And what's nice is these die cuts kind of will go either way. If I just flip one over, do you see that? It's awesome. Okay. So I'm just going to position these, see how I like the look, and then we can go from there. And this just, I love adding that little bit of color to this. And that is pretty, isn't it? Okay, now I want one more little touch to just kind of tie everything together, literally. I'm going to take and tie a bow of some Granny Apple, or no, this is Lemon Lime Twist ombre ribbon. Now I know you guys like watching me tie those, so here we go. I'm just going to make my loop, hold it, wrap the ribbon around so it's flat, okay? And then I'm going to form a loop and push it right through here. Let it peek through and then kind of adjust and tie it tight. Okay, and there is my perfectly formed bow. Okay, so I'll snip this off with my scissors. And there we go. Now I just want to tuck this in right about there. All right, let's glue it down and finish it off, and then we will have what I think is kind of a magnificent card. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here and right here. Now, whenever I do this, excuse me, I like to set things down real loosely, just so that if I don't like the placement, I do have the opportunity to kind of alter things a bit if necessary. So I just kind of set them down, not really pushing them into the adhesive quite yet. So that, like I said, if I need to adjust anything, I can. Now I've die cut this larger leafy thing from some Vellum, and then these other leaves from the Granny Apple Green. Okay. And the positioning on that actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to stick those down. And likewise, I'll do that over here as well. Okay, last thing that I need to do is just pop this up once more and then add my bow, which is just so pretty. So I hope you've liked this. I actually like all 3 of the versions of this card. Sometimes I definitely have a preference one over the other when I've been doing this series so far, but this is definitely my favorite, or all 3 of these are wonderful. Okay. They're each kind of pretty in their own way. So I'll just tuck that in like so. And there you go. Oh, one more thing we could definitely do is add some clear Wink of Stella, because that's kind of my fave. So we've got these little, whatever these things are right here. So I'm putting some clear Wink of Stella in there. I can also put some on my white flowers, and I can even brush it onto my Vellum leaves. I'm just gonna, I probably should have done that before I die cut anything, but or not die cut, adhered anything, but it all works out. So I'll put that on my flowers. So such a pretty little touch to this gorgeous, gorgeous card. I hope you've liked these. I'm gathering ideas for stamp sets that you're interested in seeing me do next in the upcoming months or weeks. So let me know in the comments and tell me which one is your favorite. So I'll bring them all back in. We've got 3, 2, and 1. So I hope you've loved all these beautiful cards. Thank you guys so much for stamping with me today. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again soon. Bye.